pictures of a driving protest in Annapolis, Maryland. Then at the center of the circle there is the State House. We're told hundreds, if not thousands, of cars are going to drive around the circle in protest of Maryland's stay-at-home order. The governor says it is way too early to open up in that state. This follows a similar protest in Michigan that took place earlier this week. At least 4 sheriffs in that state, as you can see there, people came out in the driving rain, are saying they are not going to strictly enforce stay-at-home orders in their counties. One of those sheriffs, Kim Cole of Mason County, joins us now. For those not familiar with Michigan geography, it's if we put up our hand here, it's just over here on the right side of the coast there on Lake Michigan. Good to see you, sir. We appreciate it. What of Governor Whitmer's policies and orders do you find most offensive?
So I wouldn't say they're offensive, Leland. I would say that if I could just give you a short back history, Virginia passed those Second Amendment issues and laws down there, and what happened when that took place is people in Michigan kind of raised an eyebrow and said, boy, we hope that doesn't happen here. And then there was some chatter around Lansing about some gun issues, and all of a sudden Second Amendment sanctuary counties started popping up all over Michigan, and it really drew a large following. And on the heels of that, this COVID matter hit, and that is, of course, not our governor's fault. It's not anybody's fault. It just happened, and the governor issued some issues or some executive orders telling people to stay home, and people are already on edge, over the Second Amendment issues, and it creates.
We heard the president tweet about the Second Amendment issues as well. When we go through some of the governor's orders that are more controversial, you're allowed to fish in a canoe, but not from your motorboat, for example. Is that something that your sheriffs and water officers would enforce or not?
In our area, we would take it on a case-by-case basis. The governor does. It is an order the governor has that you can fish from a canoe or a kayak, but not in a 25-horse motored, 16-foot deep V fishing boat.
Does that make sense to you as the sheriff?
It really doesn't to me.
Okay.
I mean, if I have my boat at a dock, but it's got a motor on it, I can't go 100 feet out into my pond and fish, but I can get in a canoe in 46-degree water that just potentially tips over. So those are her orders. It's her right to do that. I think there's some room for improvement, and we would hope she would understand. Your previous guest was speaking out of Detroit, and it's a beautiful area down there, but we're not Detroit in northern Michigan, and in the southeast part of the state, you can drive for miles and never see a tree. And in our area, you can drive for miles and never see a house. And it's two different dynamics.
Yeah, as you pointed out before, you're an elected official. It's your job to uphold the Constitution, both of the United States and of the state of Michigan. You enforce the laws as you see fit. The voters can speak later. This headline caught my attention in the Washington Post, which does not normally write about Michigan, but here it is. Almost everybody I know is out of work. How the coronavirus has unleashed economic havoc in Michigan. Do you see that economic havoc, number one? And number two, are you worried if things don't get back to normal soon and people aren't allowed to return to work, that you as sheriff are going to have some violations of the law you're going to have to enforce?
Yeah, so Michigan just passed the 1 million mark on unemployment claims this week. One of those is my brother. My little brother works construction, and he was laid off because the site he was at was shut down. I don't take issue with the shutdown the governor issued, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are hurting in our area, and
potential for crime to become a real problem here going forward?
Yeah, before we went on, I was looking at complaints since the order's been in place by the governor. We've actually taken 8 criminal complaints related to the governor's order, and we've taken 19 domestic violence calls.
Wow.
And that's high for us in our area, the domestic violence calls.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Sheriff, we're going to have you back as this goes on, because it's not over, and certainly the economic havoc and catastrophe is not over. We appreciate it, sir. And I know you're looking forward to summer up there, where it becomes God's country rather than the bleakness of the gray. We appreciate it, sir. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff.